You are listening to the U23 Future Podcast, exploring future life and work with insights from KEN. Brought to you by U23. Share the happiness.
Is AI going to take our jobs? I mean, it's the question, right? Everyone's talking about it as AI just keeps leaping forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And whether you're thinking about your own career or maybe, just looking around, it's hard to ignore.
Definitely demanding our attention. So let's do a deep dive. Today we're looking at insights from KEN UTSUMI. He's the founder of U23, started it in Toronto way back in 2003.
Right. And we're digging into his U23 tech blog. He's got these really forward-looking takes on work based on years of tracking global trends.
And his perspective, it's interesting because it's not just theory, is it? It's from observing cities really adopting AI, looking at what OpenAI, Anthropic, those big players are doing.
Exactly. So we'll look at his predictions, considering both what AI can do now and also looking back, at history, previous tech shifts.
Right. Because our goal here isn't just to repeat the headlines. We want to cut through some of that hype around AI and jobs.
Yeah, give you a clearer, maybe more nuanced view on which jobs might change, what new stuff might pop up.
And crucially, how humans, people, still fit into the picture, where our skills remain vital.
Okay, so where do we start?
Well, let's kick off with one of Utsumi's core ideas. This concept he calls skill polarization.
Ah, yes. The idea that AI won't impact everyone equally. He suggests it'll disproportionately affect or maybe benefit people at the lower skill end, he calls them D class, and the very high skill end, the A class.
Leaving the middle potentially vulnerable, the B and C classes.
That's the argument. It seems like those mid-range skills could face the biggest squeeze.
Okay, but hang on. How does AI benefit the D class, those with maybe fewer traditional skills? That seems a bit counterintuitive.
Well, think about the tools. AI tools are getting, easier to use,
Right.
more accessible.
Right.
So someone without, say, years of design training might be able to use an AI platform to create decent graphics. Or maybe generate some basic code, tasks that used to need B or C level expertise.
I see. It lowers the barrier to entry for certain kinds of work.
Precisely. It empowers people to do more with less formal training in specific areas.
So then the flip side, if D-class folks can use AI for B or C tasks, what happens to the actual B and C workers?
Well, that's the tough question, isn't it? It comes down to value and efficiency. If AI can do those mid-skill tasks well enough and, cheaply enough,
The demand for humans doing just that might drop off.
it could, yeah. The question becomes, do human B and C skills offer enough of an edge over what the AI can deliver for those specific tasks?
Okay, so that's the potential challenge for the middle. What about the other end? The A class, high-skill experts.
For them, Utsumi sees AI acting more like a force multiplier.
Augmenting their abilities.
Exactly. Automating the routine stuff, the grunt work, freeing them up to focus on the really complex, creative, innovative work, the stuff that requires deep knowledge, maybe across multiple fields.
And he argues this actually increases the value of top-tier expertise. That seems interesting, too. Why would that be?
Well, if AI handles more of the basics, the baseline gets higher for everyone, right? So the people who can go beyond that, who can create something truly insightful or, emotionally resonant, work that connects disparate ideas in a unique human way.
Their skills become even more valuable because AI can't replicate that deep creative synthesis.
That seems to be the idea. Their ability to create things that aren't just efficient, but truly impactful becomes the key differentiator.
So even with super smart AI, the human touch, the decision-making remains critical. Utsumi emphasizes this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He makes a really strong point that, look, AI might generate a million options, countless possibilities.
Will we decide?
Yes. Humans are still the ones making the final calls. How is this AI used? Which option do we choose? Which strategy do we actually implement? That final judgment remains human.
That makes sense. And it connects to his points about history, doesn't it? Learning from past tech disruptions.
Yeah, he draws that parallel very clearly. He says, look at history. Tech change always shakes up the job market.
The classic example being the car replacing the horse-drawn carriage.
Exactly. Think about the jobs that just vanished. Coachmen, stable hands, people breeding carriage horses. Gone.
But then a whole wave of new jobs appeared.
A huge wave. Drivers, obviously. Mechanics, factory workers building the cars, engineers designing them.
And it ripples outwards, right? It wasn't just direct car jobs.
Not at all. Suddenly you needed roads built, highways, traffic lights, manufacturing, installing, maintaining them. Gas stations popped up everywhere, parking lots, car insurance became a thing, rental agencies, entirely new ecosystems.
He uses that great phrase, too, the upgrade of roles, like the coachman evolving into the astronaut.
It's a fantastic metaphor, isn't it? It captures how the fundamental need, maybe for transport or exploration, stays, but the skills and the tech transform dramatically.
And it's not always just replacement. Sometimes old things find new life, like the horse carriages becoming tourist rides.
Right. What was essential transport becomes a niche leisure activity. It shows that adaptability. People find new ways to use old skills or frameworks.
And he mentions airplanes, too, creating totally new roles for engineers, pilots.
Yeah, another layer of specialization driven by tech. And it loops back. You needed someone skilled to manage a horse and carriage, and you absolutely need highly trained people to fly planes or, operate spacecraft. It's that coachman to astronaut idea again, just across different tech eras.
So bringing it to today, he looks at AI's impact on transportation, specifically cars.
He does. And he uses an interesting analogy. Self-driving cars today are maybe like the first iPhone, the 2G.
Meaning impressive, but just the very beginning.
Kind of, yeah. We see them in some cities, but the tech is still early stage compared to where it could go. It has limitations, just like that first iPhone did.
So it's not just about the car driving itself. What's the bigger picture he sees?
He paints this picture of cars becoming more like, well, rooms on wheels.
Rooms on wheels.
Yeah, imagine a first-class travel experience, but on the road. You could have entertainment systems, maybe do some shopping, have a meal delivered to the car, even properly rest during your journey.
So the car stops being just transport and becomes a mobile space for living, working, relaxing.
That's the vision. A transformation of the commute or travel time.
And naturally, that would create new types of jobs.
Oh, for sure. You'd need people developing and managing these complex AI driving systems, the software engineers working on the algorithms, the sensors, the data.
But also maybe jobs related to the experience inside the car.
Absolutely. People designing the interiors, curating the entertainment, managing the logistics of in-car services, maintaining these much more complex vehicles, a whole new service layer potentially.
Okay, now this leads to a really fascinating, almost philosophical point Utsumi raises. This paradox.
The paradox of convenience and busyness.
Yeah. All this tech is supposed to make life easier, save us time.
Yeah.
So why does it feel like everyone is just getting busier and busier?
That's a great question. And he observes, it's not just us now. Looking back, like centuries or even just decades, people consistently report feeling more busy, even as time-saving tech spreads.
It's weird, isn't it? You'd think the opposite.
It really would. So the question he leaves hanging is, this next huge wave, AI,
Will it finally be different? Will it actually free us up?
or will it somehow just accelerate the hamster wheel, make us feel even more rushed, more overwhelmed, despite its power?
That's the million-dollar question, really. Will AI liberate us or just make us busier in new ways?
We don't know yet, but it's something we need to think about.
Okay, so let's try and pull these threads together. Utsumi's analysis gives us a way to think about AI and jobs that's more complex than just jobs lost.
Right. It points to this potential polarization of skills, with the middle maybe getting squeezed.
But also this enduring, maybe even growing need for high-level human expertise and, critically, human decision-making.
Yeah, and remembering that historical pattern tech change displaces some jobs, sure, but it also creates totally new ones, often in unpredictable ways.
So hopefully you listening now have a bit more of a framework, something beyond the simple robots are coming for us narrative.
A more nuanced perspective to consider as things develop.
Exactly. And maybe here's a final thought for you to chew on, building on that paradox of busyness. Given that history shows tech often makes us feel busier, what can you personally do proactively? How can you make sure AI actually liberates some of your time and energy rather than just adding new demands?
That's a really practical takeaway. Thinking about what skills you might need or what new areas might open up.
Yeah, not just reacting to the changes, but trying to consciously shape how this technology impacts your life and your work. Something to definitely think about.
That's all for today's episode of the U23 Future Podcast. Thanks for exploring future with us. Until next time, share the happiness.